Hello, Internet Land, and welcome to the first installment of the CypherCast Chronicles. My name is Andrew Cady, and I'm here to introduce my new project to you before we get things underway. The CypherCast Chronicles will primarily be an actual play podcast featuring various campaigns using Monte Games' Cypher system. This podcast will not be one long, ongoing campaign, but shorter stories with a rotating cast of characters to keep things fresh and interesting. I plan on covering all of the major MCG settings, as well as feature some third-party supplements and fan-made content in the games as well. Hopefully, we'll get some guest GMs from time to time, so I can actually be a player. But that's still in the works, so no promises there. Another thing to note that this is going to be a audio and video podcast. I plan on uploading about 30 minutes of each session to YouTube at a time, and then compile about 3 or 4 of those segments together for an audio podcast later on. I do this because I recognize that at least 80% of my podcast listening is done audio only, so I don't really want to leave out those listeners. The first campaign I will be running will be for the Strange RPG. It will feature about 6 to 8 adventures, depending on player choices throughout the campaign. And I'm calling the campaign A Fragile Estate. The players will be playing fairly seasoned members of the estate, but things aren't really going well for the estate. Missions are failing right and left, and even estate agents are being targeted by unknown assailants. Morale is getting really low, and there is even some whispers that there might be a mole high up in the estate organization. To top all of that off, there's rumors that the OSR is working on some big weapon or some project that doesn't sound very good. And there's even an entity called the Oracle, this mysterious entity that has started to try to make contact with the estate. It's kind of figured out their cover, and it's made contact a couple times. And the estate's a little weary about what's going on there. I've got some great players lined up, and it promises to be a very good time. If you'd like to learn more about the Strange RPG and the Cypher system rules, I'll post some links to various resources and Monte Games' website in the show notes below. This first session will be mainly character establishing the character links to the characters and determining their ciphers before we kick things off into the first campaign. So I hope you all enjoy, and happy listening and viewing. Hello, welcome to the first episode of the CypherCast Chronicles. I am your GM, Andrew Cady. With me, we have 4 wonderful players. Playing Adair, we have...
Oh, sorry. Lucas. Hey, how's everyone going?
Okay, playing Jackson Harper, we have...
Hey, this is William.
Playing Jack McCandles, we have...
Hi, this is Jim Ryan.
All right, let's start with Adair. Tell me what your character is.
All right, so Adair is a skeptical spinner who works the system. Interesting little guy, yeah. He's about 34, 35 years old. Pretty much tragic background and whatnot. His hiring with the estate was, because of that tragedy and what have you. I don't know how much of it you really want me to get into.
It's just as much as you want to reveal this time.
All right, so basically, had a great job, had a great family. Business trip, family ends up getting killed by accident of some sort. He's not sure because he was away on business. He comes back, has to, bury his wife and daughter, then ends up becoming a spiral dust user, then ends up doing a lot of crazy stuff, ends up on a really strange trip that ends with him waking in the hospital with an estate agent looking over him going, interesting. Because he ended up not going to the normal spot spiral dust users go.
I see. All right, William, tell me a little bit about Jackson Harper.
Okay, so Jackson Harper is basically an Edward Snowden-like character. This is someone who has been working in the government intelligence agencies for years and started stumbling into communiques from related to the OSR.
Okay.
And as he started investigating that, they started investigating him back, and he basically went on the run and was rescued by the estate, who decided to put his skills and the knowledge that he'd gained to use.
All right. Sounds good. All right, Jim, tell me a little bit about Jack McCandles. Sorry.
Jack, at this point in his life, is in his late 30s. He is he's an Elvis guy, and he has mighty sideburns. And he is a former Secret Service agent. He essentially, you may remember when last year there was a news story about someone jumping the White House fence. Well, that's not the first time that it happened. Only the previous time it had been hushed up. It was a number of years ago, within the last decade. It happened, and Jack was the one who ended up catching the thing that jumped the fence. But when he caught it, he discovered that it was something not of this earth. And it didn't really stick around long enough for him to have evidence of it, and afterwards no one believed him. As a result, he is no longer doing that job, but he did ultimately run into people who did believe him, and he works for them now.
I see. Okay. So one thing to say is that y'all are estate agents that have been for the estate for a little bit of time now. And so you have connections with other players. The other players, you can use the connections that are in the book for your characters, or you can pick one of these. And so I'm going to give each one of you a couple choices. A dare. You can pick a connection that's in the book, or one of these more juicy ones. And why don't you read them out? Oh, actually, they should be on the screen for everybody to see, but yeah. Why don't you read those out?
I got two of them there.
Yep.
All right.
You got two to choose from.
All right, so why doesn't blank trust you? And the other one is, what did blank do that saved your life? And how do you feel about that?
Yep. So you can put a blank to the character, that you, why doesn't, Jackson Harper trust you? Or, why doesn't, or what did Jim or Jack McCandles, how did he save your life? So
I'm gonna go with why doesn't Jackson Harper trust you? So I'm gonna go that route, and it's because he's the Edward Snowden type, and
he doesn't trust anybody.
What's that?
He doesn't trust anybody.
Yeah, but specifically, he doesn't trust my character because my character is so good at getting into different computer systems and what have you that maybe sometime in the past they crossed paths, like through internet and things like that, maybe through communiques. Not so much Adair working for OSR or anything like that, but just Adair just being there for like kicks or something when he was younger. And Jackson Harper just seems to remember that and just kind of gets that untrusting vibe of Adair, be it the hacking side or be it that he is a former drug addict.
Well, I like the hacking angle because I've taken hackering at Specialized, so I could see a little bit of rivalry coloring the paranoia. Plus, you have those freaky eyes.
There's that, and also because of my focus, I have that hack the impossible ability to where, I use that. My character could just sit at anything and just be like, "Oh yeah, we're in, done."
Oh yeah, no, I like that because I'm really, really good, but you're like the tier above that. I like that.
All right. And so now you get to choose. Let's see. All right. So Jackson, we'll give you these two. You can choose one or two. If you want to choose both of them for different reasons, you can. So these next two are for you.
All Right.
Or you can choose one of your connections in the book. What's going to be a little bit different from the Strange book is if the connection comes up in the game, if you do a decision based on your connection, you're going to get an EXP for it. So it's sort of trying to seed into y'all playing to your characters versus playing to what best suits the mission.
Gotcha. So what's in there is the last two, 5 and 6?
Yep, 5
Okay.
and 6.
So what habit do you have that blank finds really annoying? Or on a mission with blank, another agent was killed. Who was he? How did he die? How do you both feel about what happened?
Gotcha.
Ooh, those are both evil. So I'm going to start with number 6.
Well, a habit can be really lighthearted, so it doesn't have to be.
Eats my toenails like Rich Installment.
Oh,
You?
Have you ever oh, yeah, I'll have to find a picture. It's hideous. So I'm going to start with number 6, since you said I could take both if I wanted.
Okay, sure.
On a mission with Adair. On a mission with Adair, another agent was killed, but it was a female agent that reminded him in a lot of ways of his wife.
Wait, reminded Adair of his wife?
Yeah, was it Adair that your wife was dead?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the agent we were working with reminded you of your dead wife. And so then when this agent died in the line of duty, it kind of broke you a little bit.
Okay.
Or no, I mean, that's what I guess, asking.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm gonna roll with it because that's a good idea. Just because it just complicates things a little bit more. So
So how do we both feel about what happened?
well, now that untrustworthiness goes both ways because in that case you were in charge of the op, and Adair feels that the other agent's death is because of your doing. So just as Jackson is not trustworthy of Adair, Adair is not trustworthy of Jackson.
Yikes.
I like it.
Jack's just over by himself.
Yeah. So,
it means I've got to hold them together. Oh God.
well, that's why. If I'd only taken one, it would have gone to Jack. But if I get to do both, I'll do it this way.
No.
So, but you think I'm responsible for the mission going south? Does the estate think that? I mean, did I get censured or penalized or anything like that?
I'm going to say no.
Okay.
Even though it was a bad situation, it couldn't be helped.
Okay. Sometimes you just make a bad call, and
Yeah. You made the best call you had with the information you had at the time.
okay. All right. And so, what habit do I have that blank finds really annoying? Constantly scanning the social media for references to myself. It's the most paranoid yet slightly narcissistic
That's beautiful.
thing, and for some reason that drives you nuts.
So you kind of want to be famous, sort of. You kind of want to see your name out there.
Well, right, and every time I don't see my name, there's got to be a reason for it. Somebody's suppressing that. The OSR got in, and maybe every once in a while I'll make a sock puppet account and mention me just to see what happens, and then I fret about that all day that it doesn't get taken down because that means they're on to me in the sock puppet.
Gotcha.
So I find your self-hunting through social media constantly annoying.
Yes.
I'm totally good with that.
Cool.
All right, and these last two, number 4 and 7, Jim, go ahead and tell me what you want to do for Jack with those.
Okay. First of all, I just suddenly realized did I give my three words because I have my character descriptor? I have a feeling I didn't.
I'm not sure that you did. Did I
I
skip
think I just
over?
left directly.
I don't think any of us did.
Early onset Alzheimer's, folks.
No, Adair did, and then I was supposed to ask Jack before he had the questions. Sorry.
Oh,
Jack, tell me a little bit about, or William, tell me a little bit about Jackson Harper before you go on.
Oh, okay. So I'm a paranoid paradox who works the system. So the paranoid part is pretty self-evident.
Gotcha.
And he was a computer analyst and intelligence analyst, so he knows his way around the network and he knows the computer systems and how government bureaucracies function. That's kind of the angle I'm taking on the work of the system.
Okay.
And so that's let me stay kind of half a step ahead of the bad guys. Right. And in reality, there probably are no bad guys at all, but I'm one step ahead of them, but just barely.
Whoever they are.
Whoever they are, somebody's out to get me.
Okay. All right, Jim, tell me who Jack McCandless is then.
He is a sharp-eyed vector who looks for trouble.
All right. A little bit about?
And that basically is, well, it's like I said before, he's a former Secret Service agent. And he pretty much, like I said, he did that for a number of years. He did, he worked in law, and he had a law enforcement family. He basically worked in law enforcement for quite a while, was very just sort of very much into the by the book thing until he met what seemed to be basically an alien.
On the White House lawn, yeah.
On the White House lawn, and they pretty much anyone who might have known something about these things, either someone wanted him gone for having seen it, or no one believed him. And as far as he can tell, it could have been either one, but probably they just didn't believe him. So tying this in actually to the questions you just sent me.
Gotcha.
I think because I'm looking this over, and I actually. I don't think I can, in good conscience,
skills. It's supposed to be skills, not S-kill. It switched over 2 lines.
Oh, okay.
Don't trust Adair's kills.
Don't trust he kills you. Thanks. Right. Not as good.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
It's supposed to be skill. Some reason, when I pasted it in, it made it 2 different lines. So. Okay.
All right. Well, I was thinking about that. I was at least going to take. That isn't. Well, actually, that also plays into another thing. So, I think number 4.
Okay.
I will definitely take. I think what does Jackson Harper know about me that I wish they didn't is that he knows about the incident on the lawn. More specific, and he knows more specific details about it. I mean, a certain amount of that might have become known within the estate, basically, because that's part of the reason why they were interested in me. But he basically has that, and he has. Oh, okay. I'll tell you what he also has. He has my album.
Your album.
Yes, you see, I also play the guitar. Not terribly well. I play blues guitar. I only these days do it for, calming down and for fun. But there was a time in my life when I was... there was a time in Jack's life when he was in his teens, late teens, and early 20s, when he tried to start a band. And that eventually... was a not terribly good process. It was sort of a blues / rockabilly thing, and he came out with he cut an album eventually, and it's he thought that every copy had been seized and burned, but apparently it got out and became available in digital format.
It's one button push away from BitTorrent.
Yes, exactly.
All right.
I like it.
So it's one of those things where it's like he still practices, but he's not really. He doesn't have any professional music ambitions these days. But it's just one of those things. All that's left from that phase in his life is the guitar and his boots.
And the Route 66 tramp stamp.
Well, yeah, there was a lot of burning involved. I think, though, for also with Adair, I was looking over my character's possible connections just based on the book.
Okay.
And I think what I could do is kind of roll that and number 7 into kind of one thing.
Okay.
And that was that basically one of the PCs is someone that I protect or I watch over. Because I think that comes from the looking for trouble.
Yep.
Part. And so what I think I'll do is that I am watching over Adair because I think he has potential, but I think he is going to, if left on his own, he's going to get himself killed before he actually realizes it.
Gotcha. All right. That makes a lot of sense. So basically, it's not if you don't trust him, you just think that he might get himself in trouble because his skills aren't as, might not be up to as well as you think they are. Okay, that works. That works.
It's funny because from the background, it's entirely possible he's been in the estate longer than I have.
Gotcha.
It might not be possible. You might have been the one that was in the hospital room. There is that.
Yeah, could be.
Hospital room. I'm sorry, I missed that part.
When he woke up from his drug-induced stupor.
Oh, okay. Yes, that's entirely possible too. If you would like to do that, I could totally say that.
I'm cool with that.
All right, Jim. How many ciphers can you take?
2.
2. All right, you can take either a strength boost, a sniper strange ammunition, which decreases the difficulty of all ranged attacks 1 step for an hour using that ammo. You can also have either a poison remover or a slashing and piercing null field.
What's the last one? Slashing and piercing what?
Null field. It just basically means you gain +5 armor against slashing and piercing for an hour.
Good lord. I see this character as predominantly he's kind of a brawler type, but he does have a gun. So it's a medium ranged weapon. I'm not sure exactly how that times out.
All right, do you want to make it a blunt force snowfield instead then?
But
that
could be cool.
Okay.
If you want to do that, that was what I was thinking. I was thinking of taking the null field.
Okay.
Either way, really.
All right, pick which one you want. It's up to you.
So I'll take I'll take the null field as That's an
slashing,
excellent...
piercing, or blunt. Slashing and piercing is 1.
Now you've presented me with a choice. And, either way could be cool, really, depending on what we end up tangling with. So, I think that I'll go with the original. I'll go with slashing and piercing.
Okay.
We can play with that. See how that goes.
Do you want the strange ammo or the strength boost?
I should probably be writing this down, shouldn't I? Might help.
Might help, yeah.
Let's see. Ciphers.
Sorry, I have cards. I wish I could give them to you digitally. Here you go.
I know. I'm trying to reach through the interwebs, but they don't want me to go Lawnmower Man again. The field thing. And that's like 1 hour. And then, so it's either the strength boost or or ammo, which is which is it just adaptable to whichever type of weapon it is that I end up using. I take the ammo.
Yep.
What kind of ammo did you say it was again?
Ranged.
Well, right, yes, but
whatever.
Okay.
It's strange ammo. Basically, it just decreases the difficulty of all ranged attacks for an hour.
Okay. I think I will just go ahead and take the strength boost because that seems to just be
that adds a might edge for an hour.
Okay, cool.
All right, Jackson Harper, how many
I can carry 3.
All right. You can have either a manipulation beam or a medicine aid.
Medicine aid. What level is that?
It is going to be level 4.
Because I'm really pretty puny in the physical department. So
Restores number of points equal to the Cypher's level. To the user's intelligence pool, though.
Oh, well, and that's my actually primary...
I'm sorry, that's meditation aid. I'm sorry, I read that completely wrong. Medicine aid. No.
What was the other option?
A manipulation beam.
All right, I'll do the manipulation beam.
Okay, that is also level 4. And it basically, you can use it 4 times in a day. And it basically, you can use it to manipulate an object at long range away.
I can call it a 0-point energy field manipulator if I want.
Sure.
Okay, excellent. I like it. Put that in like my Green Lantern ring.
All right, you can choose either. You can take the meditation aid as well if you want that as your second cipher.
I mean, intellect's my prime stat, so I've got tons of points in there.
Okay.
I really could have used a physical.
So the other thing that you can choose from is a reflex enhancer, or an ability enhancement. So reflex enhancer, basically it makes all tasks involving manual dexterity, lockpicking, juggling, operating on a patient, defusing a bomb, that kind of thing. It makes it 1 step easier for an hour.
Okay.
Oh, excuse me, 2 steps easier for an hour.
Oh, I'll take it.
Okay.
And I'm sorry, what was that called?
Reflex enhancer.
Reflex enhancer. Okay.
All right, and then you've got either armor reinforcer cold or armor reinforcer acid.
Oh, God. I hope we don't end up in a situation where we need either one of those.
Well, both just give you 2 plus armor, plus 2 armor.
Mm-hmm.
But they also give you plus 5 against damage from cold or acid, depending on which one.
I'm more likely to get cold.
Okay. All right.
And how long does that function?
A day.
Okay, thank you.
All right, and Adair.
Dose.
You get to choose from an ability enhancement, which basically says for the next day the character is trained using one of his twist or visions or moves. So that basically it makes it easier for you to do one of your abilities. You get to choose when you use it.
Mm-hmm.
And it lasts for a day. Or lift. For 1 hour after activation, you can float in the air or back down again at a rate of 20 feet per round. Wind or other effect. All right.
I'm going to float.
Nice.
You got to tell me what those pair of shoes you're wearing. What does that look like? What on earth item does this look like to you?
Does it have to be like an actual crazy article of clothing, or can it be something small and...
Oh, it can be something small. Whatever you decide it to be, like, it's just got to be an earth object that gives you this ability.
It's a pilot wings pin.
All right.
Nice.
That's great. You can... How many can you choose from?
I have 2. That's 1, so...
Okay.
What level was that lift, by the way?
It is level 4 as well.
Okay.
The other thing that you can choose from is a flash burst or a curative. Flash burst is basically blinds things for a minute, and a curative restores the number of points equal to the ciphered levels to the user's might pool. A lot of might pool stuff here. And that is level 6.
I'm going to go with the flash burst.
Okay. Basically, within short range, it explodes, and you're blinded for an hour. Or for a minute, excuse me. Well, not you, but whoever gets hit by it.
Yeah. And what level is that?
That is going to be level 6.
All right. And that's easy to describe. That can be like a flashbang canister kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
All right.